Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or indeed good evening, depending on your time zone and depending on when you are watching this. I'm James Innes, and this is my YouTube show, The Jobs Guru. It is Thursday, the 18th of June, 2020, which is a key date in UK French history. Today is the 80th anniversary of Charles de Gaulle's BBC broadcast to occupied France after the 1940 Nazi invasion. A broadcast which is known as the Appel, rallying the country in support of La Résistance. I'm delighted to see you all here for today's episode. I extend a very warm welcome to all those who have subscribed since the last episode, and if you haven't yet subscribed, then please do think about subscribing so you don't miss out on the next episode. In today's show, I'm going to be taking a look at the latest workplace, jobs, career and employment news, and then I'm going to be talking about Plan B, career change. If you have any questions or comments as you watch, then do please type them into that comment section below. And if you like what you see, then do please hit it with the YouTube thumbs up. Now first, as always, I've had a good read of all the main news headlines, and in particular the workplace, jobs, careers and employment-related headlines. No politics from me today. Some of you may be pleased to hear. No, I'm just going to go straight in with this story from my friends and colleagues at BBC News. Coronavirus, my employer broke the furlough rules. The article looks at a case study of Steve, not his real name, who, having been furloughed by his employer, was then asked by his boss to log on and work. And when he refused, because it is most definitely illegal, he was fired. If you are furloughed by your employer, then you are definitely not allowed to work in any capacity other than on a voluntary basis for the benefit of society as a whole. If you're currently working from home, as indeed many of us are, then you should not also be furloughed. That is fraud, and HMRC, Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs, are now faced with quite a challenge in tackling it. They've already received more than 3,000 reports, and this will only increase. Of course, there will naturally be some cases of confusion, uncertainty and error rather than deliberate fraud, and it's believed that the vast majority of companies will have used the system correctly. But it is also clear that the system is a magnet for fraudsters intent on exploiting it. One survey found that more than a third of furloughed employees have been asked by bosses to carry out at least some work whilst receiving funds under the furlough scheme, which is technically known as the CJRS, the Coronavirus Job Retention Scheme. Well, I think furlough scheme is actually a lot easier. So where do you draw the line? Is an hour's work to quickly handle a troublesome client a case of fraud, or quite simply sheer commercial necessity? Well, if an employer has inadvertently broken the rules, then they could just be made to return the cash. But if HMRC can prove they intended to do it, they could face up to 10 years in prison. So now, on to the main topic of the day, Plan B, career change. In a post-pandemic world, some people's careers will never be the same again, so maybe it's time to have a Plan B in place. One of the inevitable outcomes of the global pandemic is that the world of work is changing for many people, with industries such as travel, tourism, hospitality and retail being hit so very hard. Many people have been forced into changing their career path. However, some people are also using this time to reevaluate what's important to them, both personally and professionally, and to intentionally look for something new, something different. You only live once, so far as we know. And with so much time spent at work, it's vital that you are happy during that time. If you are not, then maybe it's time to think about that Plan B again. Recent research suggests that 2/3 of workers are likely to consider a different industry at the moment. However, it's important to remember that the grass is not always greener on the other side. So if you are thinking about changing your career voluntarily, then do give it some very serious thought indeed. Of course, you may just have no choice in the matter, but either way, please allow me to run through some useful tips to help you improve your chances of success. First of all, undertake a skills audit. Identifying what skills you have gained in your previous roles is an important place to start. What you are looking for are skills that are transferable to the roles you are now targeting. If you find that there are any gaps in your experience, then look into how you can perhaps fill those gaps with training or even volunteering. Tailor your CV. Yes, I know, always one of my first bits of advice, but all the more important when you are looking to do something new, as your CV will need a complete overhaul. Those transferable skills I just mentioned will need to be given more prominence, and your achievements will really need to stand out so that recruiters can see your potential value, even if you don't have direct experience in the particular industry you're looking for work in. Be open-minded. You may have an ideal job role in mind, but it may be that you haven't yet considered all the options that might be available to you. It also may be that your current career isn't actually that bad and you end up sticking with it. You never know what the future holds, so prepare to be flexible and don't just have a Plan B, but also have a Plan C and even a Plan D. Think it through. Get ready to learn. Inevitably, if you're looking to do something new, you may have to start at the bottom. So some reskilling is likely to be necessary. The important thing is to show that you are willing and able to put in the time and effort needed to make your transition successful and seamless. Network. Having a strong network is always important if you're looking to develop your career in any direction. But when you're considering a career change, you need to look beyond your close connections to people who you may not be in regular contact with, in particular, those who might be in a position to help you. So update your LinkedIn profile, look for new connections or existing connections who maybe you haven't spoken to in a while. Be patient. Whether you've chosen to change your career or have had no say in it, this process can take time. Don't be discouraged though. Be resilient. Everyone's going to need a lot of resilience at the moment. Keep applying and never give up on your dreams. Finally, it's a bit of a boring point, but an important one, prepare a budget. Changing your career may mean that you have to take a salary cut as you start something new, even if it's just temporarily. So do a budget, work out exactly what you need to earn and keep that figure in mind as you start applying for new jobs. You obviously need to survive. Any kind of change is a challenge, and a career change is definitely no exception to that, even if it's something you've decided on yourself. So seeking the help of others can be really important. Talk to your friends, family, colleagues, even former colleagues. Get people's advice, get their guidance. Naturally, if you need any help with your CV, your cover letter, your LinkedIn profile, your interview technique, then we are here to help you at jamesandis.group. So now, not far from the end of today's show, I'll be back next week, Tuesday. Remember, this week is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday each and almost every week. Just two more things. First, I must squeeze in some routine but important requests. Do please check me out on social media and connect, follow, or otherwise stalk me, but please don't troll me. Nobody likes trolls. If you have any questions or comments about this episode, about the show in general, indeed about life, the universe, the amazing turquoise blue of the Kaweti Jin, whatever, then do please let me have them below. If you like this episode, then do please hit it with the YouTube thumbs up. Okay. If you have given me a thumbs up, then think about both subscribing to my channel and also ringing that bell so that you get automatic notifications from YouTube of future episodes. If you've already done all of that, well, thank you. Finally, what is happening in the next episode? Well, actually, what's going to be happening all next week? My 3 shows next week are all going to have a common theme: equality, discrimination, diversity, division, human rights. Were we not all created equal? I do hope you'll tune in. Thank you for watching today. Keep safe and be well, my friends. Goodbye.